Fantasy football is finally back. Week 1 is in the books. Nothing else matters right now. This is your number one priority. Now, for today's video, our first segment will be wins and losses. Let's start with the wins. Spencer started off with a dub this week. Team Hicks is making a big resurgence after a disappointing season last year. Rub My Dub, our Sacco from last year, is also making early strides to make sure that doesn't happen again. But the season's still young, so we'll see. Mr. Steal Yo Girl, Carlos did not give a nice welcome to our newest league member, Shreyas, when Calvin Ridley dropped 33 points on him, which Shreyas, we all know, was not happy about. Bad guys in America's fantasy team, Juan and Alejandro, both started in the dub column this week, starting their year off right. Could we see a Gonzalez Brother Fantasy Championship? Maybe. Well, you have to stay tuned. Now let's move on to our losses. Our newcomers to our league, much like Brady and the Buccaneers, unfortunately lost this week, but hopefully they can turn it around. Both teams who were in the championship last year also suffered an uncharacteristic Week 1 loss. Rounding out our losses is Big Daddy. What happened to Big Daddy this week? Albert? Well, he had 30 points from Aaron Rodgers, which usually is enough to win in fantasy, but the problem was those 30 points were all going to Devonta Adams, who had 41 points on Rub My Dub. Now, let's move on to some interviews of your fellow league members, see what's happening around the horn. We start with Spencer and his Week 1 turnaround, scoring a league-high 168.68 points. Spencer, how did that happen?
Well, I had a tough year last year, and it all started with this exotic Blanco tequila. And that's where I really got my turnaround this year.
Okay, fair enough.
And the biggest thing is, I really sucked ass last year, but then I started pounding tequila like it was nothing. And then I started seeing the world in a whole different world. And so that's when everything just turned around for me. I started realizing this year that we needed to change the draft date. So that's what I decided. I decided that the draft date needed to be on a whole different day. It needed to be on not my fucking birthday.
All right, for the first year in a row, we didn't have the draft on your birthday.
And so that changed everything. I wasn't blackout drunk.
All right, next question. Your team name is still Team Hicks. Will you ever choose another team name?
I just think, I'm representing my family every time I go to war every week. And my family knows that Frenza is the most important wine in the household. And so they believe in me, and I believe in them. And that's why you got to put your name in front of the team. It's not about the Patriots. It's about fucking Bill Belichick. So, why do you think Bill Belichick doesn't put his fucking name in the video game? It's because he knows that his name is more important than the video game. So that's why I put my name on top of ESPN Fantasy.
Okay, speaking the truth. Now that we're talking about teams a little, how do you feel about that Cowboys game this evening?
The Cowboys. My bad. I got all this extra toilet paper from the quarantine. I just think, the Cowboys got their ass kicked. And Mike McCarthy, Dunzo, worst head coach in the NFL. There's a reason he didn't have a job with Green Bay. There's a reason Green Bay played better without him. Sponsored by Miller Lite. I just think they fucking suck. The Cowboys are a great team. Fuck Mike McCarthy. God bless Kellen Moore. I hope he becomes the next head coach.
How'd you feel about that PI call at the end?
That was the worst call I've ever seen in my entire life. Hands down. I've been around a lot of college football. I've been around a lot of football in my life, that was by far worst call I've ever seen.
Oh man. And you're the young buck in our league. So how do you feel about that being 22 amongst a bunch of people getting their late 20s?
I just think there's a lot of guys in this league that think they know football, but really I'm the only one that knows football, period. And I think they're going to understand that the first year that I was able to draft my team, the first year that I was able actually to change my picks each year is going to be the year that I kick ass.
Okay.
Every other year, I've been breaking down film. Last 2 years, I've been breaking down film every Saturday night, right after our games, every Sunday morning. This is the first year I'm able to get in there and really change the league. So y'all are all fucked. That trophy right there that everyone's got right in front of them is mine. Might as well put my fucking name on it. God bless you. Y'all are fucked.
Well, it sounds like you put a statement for the league. Any other messages for the league?
Yeah, this whole Zoom thing, I'm a G. I fucking love Zoom. I've been on Zoom for about a year and a half now. I'm part owner in Zoom. I got in Zoom a month before COVID hit. So yeah, I'm making it. That's why I can use all this toilet paper. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm a G.
All right.
I know anything before it happens. DK Metcalf, that was my only L. Just remember that. I left DK Metcalf on the bench, so I didn't score more points than anyone else in the whole world.
It was very kind of you. You heard it from right here. Team Hicks putting the league on notice.
Sponsored by Miller Lite.
Sponsored by Miller Lite. Thank you. Thank you, Team Hicks.
You're welcome. No problem. Dan, truly.
Now, let's hear from who Spencer beat this week, Zeke and Destroy. Mateen, you made some noise earlier this week when you traded for Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Zach Moss for Mark Ingram and Miles Sanders, and you had a lot of doubters. Anything you want to say after CEH's week with Sanders and Ingram basically doing nothing?
Yeah, thank you, Imran. That's a great question. So the issue I had is that I woke up that morning and they were like, telling me I got trade raped. Like, I was kind of just like, yo, what the fuck is happening? Why y'all tripping? This is a good trade. It was high upside. It was a little risky, and it ended up paying out. And, it's got me feeling pretty good about this year. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be kind of a key focal point moving forward, creating a very steady base with Ezekiel Elliott to anchor the team. And I'm looking pretty forward to how it may go down off that trade.
Any message for the league?
Watch out. I'm coming for you.
All right. He's going to try to improve on his second place finish last year. All right. One more question I've got for you is you got crushed this week by Team Hicks. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it was a rough start, but we slowly got to heat up, and I think it's always over the long haul. It's kind of about team depth, and I think that that's something that'll pay out in the future. Zach Moss on the bench, I'm gonna think that his long-term potential is looking pretty good. I think that backfield will be pretty interesting to watch this year. And I'm feeling pretty pumped, it'll be a, comeback season over here, hopefully not like Baker Mayfield's, but we'll find something else.
All right. Audible question. How about them boys?
Yeah. A little bit looking the same as last year from a certain perspective, but hey, we're always looking positive. I think the offense will start humming along a little bit more. Dak Prescott's got to get his shit together a little bit, but I think he will. Zeke's looking real good. He was tearing up the defense early. So I'm feeling still pretty good, but, hopefully we don't make the same mistakes as most years. And Mike McCarthy hopefully will bring some change about.
Is it time to bring Jason Garrett back?
No. He can go clap for the Giants. They looked wonderful out there today.
All right, that's all we have. Thank you, Mateen, for the interview. Good luck on the season.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you having me on.
Next week is going to be interesting. Who will be cruising to 2-0 and who will be 0-2, putting their fantasy lives at jeopardy. We have upcoming Mr. Steelio Girl against Whipping My Dak Out. Tampa Bay Gronkaneers against Rub My Dub. Now our matchup of the week is between the high-scoring Team Hicks and dominant performing America's fantasy team. We round out our next week's schedule by Bad Guys playing Big Daddy and My Weenie Hut Jr. playing Zeke and Destroy. As I say these team names, I'm realizing y'all are obsessed with sexual innuendos. This message has been approved by League Commissioner Tampa Bay Gronkaneers, and this video is sponsored by NFL Memes. Please enjoy the best memes from this week.
First game as Cowboys head coach, he loses a few players to injury in the process, and he's going to be answering questions about on that fourth down. But tonight,
how about the Cowboys? See y'all tomorrow on First Take. You hear?